All right, so this is Algebra 2. Let's see, review 1 through 20 for your quarterfinal. This is the year 2020, 2021, third period. Okay. All right, your first question is going to ask you to solve something that's going to look like, let's say, absolute value of x minus 12. Let's say minus 10 is less than negative 2. Okay? So to start off with, just like on the last one that we looked at, we're going to isolate the absolute value. So I'm going to add 10. So before you begin to freak out and say, hey, there's an absolute value, it's less than a negative answer, there can be no solution, we haven't isolated the absolute value yet. Okay? Because what do we see when we isolate the absolute value? All right, we see that our absolute value, right, is less than a positive number, okay, which is 8. Now, do not forget, because it's a common thing to forget, that I have to solve 2 of these. So x minus 12 is less than 8. X minus 12 is greater than negative 8. Okay, add 12. Okay, x is less than 20. Add 12. X is greater than 4. Okay, and I believe on this one you also have to graph it. Okay, so I've got x is greater than 4, is less than 20. There's no equal to in here, so as I begin to look at a graph, okay, I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so I'm going to have an open circle here because it's, okay, not equal to. Open circle here. And because x fits between those things, okay, I have a solid line. Okay, if I need to, I guess I can make it a different color just so you can see it. Okay, I should have something like that. Okay? Does that work? Okay. All right, number 2. Sure I do. This won't make any sense on the video later. All right, 2. All right, let's see. I'm not going to be able to write all of this down because it's a long thing. So this is where, when you're going back to the video, you need to listen. Okay, so I'm going to try to write down the important parts. We have a pole. Okay, this is estimates. Okay, pole estimates, let's say 34%. Okay, poll estimates that 34% of likely voters are in favor. Okay, in favor of something. Okay, they're in favor of additional restrictions on teenage drivers. The poll has a margin for error. Okay, so the margin for error. And if you're paying attention to politics right now and you hear about polls, you'll hear about margin for error. Okay, the margin for error is plus or minus 6%. Okay, plus or minus 6%. We want to write and solve an absolute value equation to find the minimum and maximum percent of voters that actually support the restrictions. Okay? So we can figure out what that range is. That's the easiest part to figure out, right? So the poll could be as high as what? 40%? Okay? So X is going to be less than or equal to 40%. What can it be as low as? 28%, right? So that's the easiest thing to do first, is just find out what those numbers are, okay? Now, what it tells me is that I need to create an absolute value because there's going to be some of the minimums and maximums that are going to be identical. Okay, so we have to create an absolute value that's going to give me a max of 40 and a minimum of 28. Okay, so you're going to see multiple options there. You need to find the one that's going to match that, but let's just go ahead and see what we can figure out. Let's see. I would say that you're going to get something like x minus 34. Let's see, what would that be? We'll see. We'll do some experimentation because that, in a lot of cases, that's going to be the thing that's going to tell me what's working and what's not. Let's say it's less than or equal to, because we see some of that up here, less than or equal to 6. Okay, and let's see if we get 40 and 28 when we do both solutions. So x minus 30 is less than or equal to 6. X minus 30, oh, I'm sorry, brain fart. 34, and x minus 34 is greater than or equal to negative 6. And let's see if we get 40 and 28. Okay, let's see if we get this up here when we work that out. Okay, so I would add 34 to 6. What is that? Okay, so that gives me less than or equal to 40. So that worked. Okay, what happens over here? Add 34, greater than or equal to 28. So x is less than, or sorry, greater than or equal to 28. Did this work? Okay, so that tells me something. It tells me that I should get a minus here, okay, when working it out. It tells me that my original poll estimate should go here, and it tells me that my percent error should go there. Okay, and that I should get a less than or equal to here. That's what I would study for the test, is where those different parts are going. Okay? So not necessarily an easy question, but the first part of it was easy, right? The rest of it is just experimentation. See what's working, see what gets me that answer. If I know what the answer is, then I can begin to put the problem together. Okay? So this question's a little bit like doing Jeopardy. You know what the answer is, find out what the question is. 3. All right, in this one, you need to convert yards per minute to miles per hour. So somebody give me a 3-digit number. 428. Okay, we want to convert yards per minute into miles per hour. Okay, so 428 yards over 1 minute. Okay, so this is where using our conversion methods is important, and not just like multiplying things in our head that might get me there. Okay, if yards are here, what's going to be down here? Let's go ahead and convert yards to miles. Yards, and up here, what would you necessarily go to? Are you going to go directly from yards to miles? Most of us don't have yards to miles in our head, do? Right, but for the most part, how many of you know that it's 1760 yards in a mile? About 3 of you. Okay, what do you typically think about going into a mile? 5,280 feet. So let's convert to feet first. Okay, is a yard bigger than a foot? Yes. How many feet in a yard? 3. So that converts to feet. Okay, now let's convert from feet to miles. Which is bigger, miles or feet? Miles gets the 1. Okay, 5,280 feet in that mile. Okay, that converts me to miles. Now we have to convert from minutes to hours. Okay, so we've got minutes on the bottom, so minutes go where over here? On top or bottom? Top. Minutes. And this one you should be able to conceivably do, right? You should know how many minutes are in an hour, right? 60 minutes, 1 hour. So 428 times 3 times 60 divided by 5,280. Okay, again, these are numbers that we made up, so I don't know if this works out all nice and neat or not. But we want this to the nearest hundredth. So, what's it? 0.2 to the nearest hundredth, 0.243, so it'd be 0.24, right? Right? Okay, 0.24 miles per hour. Now, this question is going to involve a girl roller skating, okay? So she's roller skating at 428 yards a minute. So if you got some astronomical number, like she's going 734 miles per hour, would you know that you did something wrong? Yes, all right? Because the answer should be reasonable. Is it reasonable for her to go about a quarter of a mile per hour on roller skates? It seems a little slow to me, but maybe maybe it doesn't say how old Amy is. She could be 4, right? And it could take her an hour to go, a mile, so, or a quarter mile. All right, so we should ask ourselves, is our answer reasonable? What time do you guys get out of here? You multiply and divide in that question. Was something wrong? What is it? 14.59? Okay. Okay. I'm only going off the numbers that you give me. Obviously, I don't have a calculator in my hand. So 14.59 miles per hour. That's still reasonable, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. Got it. All right. Let's move forward here. All right. You're going to see a question's going to ask you to multiply. Okay. Something squared. Can I get a single digit number? 3a. Let's say, give me another digit. Something bigger than, okay, I think I heard 7. Okay, multiply 3a plus 7b. Okay, what do I do here? Is the answer 9a squared plus 49b squared? No, what do I have to actually do? FOIL 3a plus 7b times 3a plus 7b. A lot of people are going to do 9a squared plus 49b squared. Yes? Could you do a squared plus 2ab plus b squared? Could you do what? A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Sure. All right. I'm going to get, what, 9a squared? Okay, I'm going to get, 21ab plus 21ab. Plus 49b squared. Okay, combine like terms in the middle. 9a squared plus 42ab plus 49b squared is my answer. Just make sure that if you're doing it in your head, that it's showing up on paper. Okay? Yeah. Okay. 5. In 1 minute? All right, so I'm going to have to stop here with number 5. I'll pick it up with the other class. And if I have to, I'll do whatever remaining questions are to an empty room and record that as well. Okay, so that you have everything that you need. All right. It'll be on a separate video, but it'll still get sent to you. Okay?